S3 June 2012 paper and question 1. So let's work our way through the question first and pick out the key information. First paragraph. After an intensive advertising campaign for a particular brand of breakfast cereal, a market research company asked 12 households who regularly purchase cereal to record the number of packets of this brand that they purchased. Then set out below the number of packets purchased per household during the 3 months following the campaign. And here we have our test data, which is the list of information that they got. Next para, the median number of packets before the campaign was 7. Carry out a sign test. This is the important bit. Let's see what they've asked us to actually do. Carry out a sign test using a 10% significance level to investigate whether the median number of packets purchased per household increased following the campaign. Okay, so now we know what we're doing from that final paragraph. So let's start by creating our hypotheses. That's the first thing we do in any of these hypotheses. H0, null hypothesis. In sign testing, the null hypothesis is always that the medians of the two pieces of information that we've got, the test data and whatever our baseline are equal. So in this case, it is that the median number purchased after equals that purchased before. Now, for H1, depends on the size. We've got several options. It can either be not equal to, in which case we've got a 2-tail test, or it be greater than or less than, in which case we're going to have a 1-tail test. In this case, they've told us they used the word increase. So our test is going to be that the median purchase after the campaign is greater than that before. So we're on a 1-tail test. Okay, so that's got us to our hypothesis. Now let's work out our test statistic. So put space, test statistic. Now, in the sign test, we're always calculating the sign by comparing the data that we've got, the test data, with some base level. So in this case, our base level was 5. Here, the number bought before the campaign, and we've now got our list of data. Here, the test data. So if we have a look at the first one, afterwards they bought 4, which is less than, so we're going to give that a minus. The second household bought 8, which is more than, so that gets a plus. The next one's a 7, so that's a plus. Plus, 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 minus, plus, minus, plus. So we now know the signs and we've got to sum them up. So how many households had an increase, a positive increase in the number that they were buying? So let's go through and count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So we've got 9 positives. Now let's have a look at the negatives. It's a bit quicker. 1, 2, 3. So the negatives are 3. So let's take that information down and use that. So the positives we had were 9 and the negatives were 3. So what we're interested in is more extreme positions. So more extreme would be whether we had more than 9 households. So that will be greater probability of having X greater than 9, or the probability of having X less than 3. Those are the more extreme positions, and of course our calculator allows us to calculate the probability X is less than 3. Now, as we're looking at the median, the whole basis of the sign test is that it's got a 50-50 chance of being higher or lower. So we are using our binomial distribution. In this case, we had a sample of 12 items, and we're saying that the probability of being higher or lower is 0.5. So we can now go ahead and use that in our calculator and the BCD function to calculate this probability. Right, I've got a calculator up on the screen here. So our method of doing it is go menu 2, distribution, binomial, BCD. Here we want to have our list as a variable. So let's work our way down. So the X value we're putting in is 3 because that's what we're testing against. Number of trials here was 12 because that's the number in the sample. And we got 0.5. So let's execute. And we get our number 0.07299. I'm just going to use 0.073. So let's put that up. 0.073. So that's our probability of that occurring. What do we need next? We need our critical value. Critical and sign test, our critical value is going to be our significance level. In this case, it was a 10% significance level. And it was a one-tail test. So our critical value is going to be 0.1, turning that into a probability. Let's draw ourselves our hi-ho line in order to complete the calculation, the test. So the most extreme part of the line, the lowest, we're going to extreme probabilities, so our lowest probability would be going to get down to almost 0, wouldn't it? So here we have our critical value. In this case, our critical value was 0.1. So more extreme than that will be a lower probability than that. So that's to the left then, going over to the zeros, that's going to be our high area. If our area is over there, we're going to be following high, and to the right will be our ho area, part of the line. Let's position our test statistic. In this case, it is 0.73, so our test statistic is on the 0.73, and that falls within the critical region, the H1 region. So H0 is rejected. So we've reached our conclusion. What we now need to do is write our context statement. And remember that we want to lift as much as possible straight from the question. Now, the fact it was H0 was rejected means we're starting with a statement that there is significant evidence. Otherwise, it would have been there's no significant evidence. But here it is, there is significant evidence that. So let's go back and read the test wording they gave us, and we can reuse it. So we're looking at this final part of the sentence. The median number of packets purchased per household increased following the campaign. So let's repeat that. That the median number of packets purchased per household has increased following the campaign. there we have it. That's 6 points. So I should also just put in here where we're back to our IHO line. Just one statement that TS is less than CV. Put that in as well. That's in the mark scheme. Okay. To finish, I've just put up this summary sheet with the parts of the test, the order you complete them, so that you can scribble that down and use that for future reference. Thank you very much.